Hello and welcome to the October edition of Month in a Minute. I'm Jess Underwood. The federal budget has finally been announced, so we have a lot to cover. Let's get into it. The much anticipated budget has finally been released after it was postponed in March. It is quite a staggering budget and the numbers in it are nothing like we've seen before. Let's take a look through it. We understand that a lot of Australians have never really taken an interest in the budget. However, given that we are in the midst of a once in a 90-year recession and a once in a 100-year pandemic, this budget promises to be particularly relevant to your everyday life. And there's no better time to learn the budget basics. The simple definition for it is as follows: a document that sets out the estimated revenues and the expenditures of the Australian Treasury in the following financial year. This budget is low on revenue and big on borrowing. Firstly, I want to just remind everyone how big these numbers are. This is what $1 million looks like. 1,000 million is a billion. And 1,000 billion, well, that looks like this. And this is what the country's debt level is predicted to look like by 2024. The government is planning to spend its way out of recession. Let's take a look at the winners and losers of the budget. Young employees will benefit from the JobMaker program, which incentivises businesses to hire young staff. Apprentices and trainees will also benefit from the subsidies. Up to half of their wages will be covered by the government. Low and middle income taxpayers. The government's decision to bring forward planned tax cuts, worth about $12.5 billion over the next 12 months, represents a big win for approximately 11.5 million taxpayers. Australian businesses are also in line for big tax cuts if they buy new assets. Any company with turnover of up to $5 billion a year will be allowed to write off the full cost of any depreciable asset they buy before June 30th, 2022. The budget had its share of opposition. Generally speaking, the losers out of the budget are women over 45. They were most likely to be on JobSeeker before the advent of COVID-19, and the budget does not offer them the same support to get back to work as the younger workers, whose employers are eligible for JobMaker credits. Superannuation funds. Rules would get tighter on superannuation funds, which face the threat of being banned from taking on new members if they repeatedly fail an annual performance test proposed by the government. The ABC. The federal government has frozen indexation on the ABC's operational funding, leaving it at 2018 to 2019 levels. This means that the broadcaster's funding will not go up with inflation and has resulted in $41 million less funding compared to last year. The government is on a spending mission, and they want us to do the same. This is how the wheels of the economy get turning. However, airports are still closed and the stark realities of living in a COVID world are everywhere to be seen. This affects people's willingness to take risks and part with their money. A recent Reserve Bank survey showed us that Australians have wiped $6.5 billion off of their credit card debt since March. People are saving, and it will take more than press conferences and tax cuts to get people spending again. That's all we have time for. However, there is a lot going on at the moment. Email us at advice@investnational.com.au if you'd like to take a further look at how these budget changes affect you. Thanks again. See you next time.